Hello and welcome back to the Essex Allotment Farm. For those who don't know me or aren't familiar with my channel, my name's Alex. I'm the founder of the Essex Allotment Farm, which for its most part is a four seasons market garden that supplies chemical-free veg to end consumer via a veg box service or farmers markets. We do lots of other little things like consultancy and site management for other people, like the Tin Roof Cafe in Malden, which is a super fancy cafe slash restaurant here in Essex, who have about 1/4 of an acre of market garden in which we manage and consult on. I'm on the site today. We're going to do some pickings from the Polytunnel. I'm going to show you, I've given you a little sneak preview on how we're doing carrots here to try and get some uniform carrot germination and long straight carrots this season here on site. And I'll also give you a bit of a seed update on what we've got going on in the greenhouse as far as sowing, etc. So let's jump straight into the video and start by harvesting some of the stuff in the polytunnels. So I'm going to jump down and just do a bit of a quick harvest. This is actually the second picking from our this particular polytunnel. If you're familiar with the videos, it's the right hand polytunnel or polytunnel 2 here at the cafe. It's got spinach, pak choi, Asian greens. It's got some strawberry runners in that we've just put here over winter and ended up leaving here. Some onions, more Mizuna type, some wok bok cabbage, which we'll be leaving today, and some red pak choi. So we're going to harvest the outside leaves, leave the stuff behind, and do sort of like a baby spinach and lettuce mix. There's not tons of it. This is just the second picking. The second polytunnel hasn't caught up yet, but we will show you how that's coming on. That's probably about a week away from being picked, and yeah, we'll take it from there. So you don't want to watch me do all of that. This is how we, a little look into how we harvest. So we're harvesting the outside leaves into mushroom crates like this. Obviously we're going to do all of this, but I've just done sort of a meter's worth of each side of the polytunnel. Obviously these are 14 meters long, these polytunnels, so maybe I've done nearly 2 meters. And this is what we end up with. So we got some beautiful spinach, obviously the frizzy Mizuna mustard type leaf. We've got beautiful baby purple pak choi. We've let this get a little bit big, but green pak choi. Some of it's baby leaf. Is that everything? Yeah, spinach, green pak choi, frizzy leaf, baby leaf. We've got some spring onions to go with this that are out in the bed. They were overwintered. They've started to go to seed, so we need to harvest those now. But yeah, that's what the sort of salad mix this time of year will look like. We'll send probably today 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8 trays of this into the kitchen. Probably 5 trays when we pack it out a little bit more, fill them up properly. Yeah, about 5 or 6 trays of this into the kitchen, which, like I said, they'll use as either a special salad from the garden or as a garnish. But it's beautiful, lovely and fresh, and some amazing colours. I should just say, we give it a bit of a rinse to keep it cool, B to rinse off any debris, and then send it into the kitchen like that, and they clean it properly. But we don't use chemicals, so it's purely just to get any mud or grit or dirt off of it. So it's a beautiful day, but it's a little bit cold and windy. And I'm going to show you, because it's a bit blurred out, this in more detail. I'll spin the camera around. But we're doing a little comparison on carrots, as I alluded to in the intro. So we're sowing them in this weird trench or mound type way of doing things. And we've sown some here in this bed in this new way of doing things, and then we've sown some traditionally just in the ground in trenches over here. And we're going to see how the carrots get on as the season goes on, as a little bit of an experiment, see if this is worth the extra effort. But let me show you what we've done by spinning you around and having a look in detail. So I don't know how well this is going to work. I've got my mic on, but it's very windy today. It's beautiful, but it's so windy, so it's making it a bit cold. But what we've effectively done, God, that is a big breeze. Let me just, I really hope the mic is working for you, but we've made 2 mounds, about 10 to 15 centimetres high. And then we've done, that's just using a mulch, look, a really light mulch. And then what we've done, down the middle of, or the top of each trench or mound, we've dug a little trench and put some finer compost. I don't think you can really see it on here, but some finer compost all the way along. And then we've sown our carrot seeds into that finer compost on the top of the mound. The idea being to get straighter carrots. Now, when you're working for a restaurant like this, they've obviously got machines that peel their carrots, and they have to be relatively straight for those machines to be effective. So that's the sort of process that we're sort of using to try and get straighter carrots. In theory, those soil mounds are really light and easy, and the taproot should find its way down relatively straight and relatively simply. But that's the plan, and we shall see if it works. I'll keep you updated as the season goes on. In contrast, under the fleece, over the other side, it's the same bed. Look, the mounds are just over here. We've got carrots just sown in drills at soil level into the mulch and fleeced over. You can see it's windy. The fleece is going up the top there, just as normal. So I'm just going to walk down to the greenhouse now, and I will do a full tour when we've got some more stuff in the bed. So we're aggressively starting to plant out now. The top bed, I've walked past it already. It's got garlic in up there. This is going to be our carrot and lettuce and spring onions. They're going out today. They're ready to be planted. And over here we've started, oh, that's not great. Over here we've started to put the netting up for the brassicas to stop the butterflies getting in. Some supports. Obviously, we've got the fig trees and onions and bits like that. But yeah, anyway, that started to turn into a tour. When there's more planted out, I will let you know what it looks like and do a bit more of a tour of the whole site. So one of my workers has already bought this up here, but that's Mizuna. Ready to go outside for the first planting of lettuce outside. No, sorry, the second planting of lettuce outside. And we've had some patchy germination on the spring onions, but we've got enough there to do a row. So that's multi-sown spring onions. I'll jump down to the greenhouse now, where we'll be sheltered from the wind, and show you what else we've got growing on in seed trays. So I've jumped into the greenhouse. And as I alluded to a few weeks ago, we've had some patchy germination in here, but I'll show you what we've done to rectify that. We've done something that we've never done before. It's pretty simple, but I will talk you through what we've done, which just involves re-sowing in the same trays. But it does create this weird little, plants of different sizes. And I'll give you a whiz round and show you what it is that we've sown so far. So yeah, let's go jump into it now. So let's start here with some Brussels sprouts. And this is a perfect example of what's happened. So we've planted half of these Brussels sprouts already. Because of the poor germination, we re-sowed the Brussels sprouts probably 3 weeks apart, because we had one of, you can see it here, some that didn't germinate, the ones where the cells are missing, they've been big enough to plant out. And then these have grown behind in the same tray from the second sowing. So there's a little bit of damage on them, but other than that, they look fine. We'll give them another week or so to catch up or grow on a little bit more, and then we'll plant those out. So if we spin around and I carry on showing you what we've done. So we've got celery, top growing. I think that's a rogue lettuce leaf, that little thing there. But the celery hasn't germinated there. I've obviously moved some of these about so you'll be able to see. This is a wild rocket variety that's germinating nicely, but quite slowly. This isn't going to be the slickest because I haven't reread all of these. That's the second sowing of wild rocket there, and we have, if you can see, got some small bits of germination on that. Again, more wild rocket here, and then we move into cauliflowers. cauliflowers, and you can see how patchy the germination is on this. So what we've decided to do is re-sow in all these cells. Not do a new tray, not pop these out, but re-sow in all these cells, shallower, and it's getting warmer now. The temperature is a lot more consistent in this greenhouse. So conditions for germinating cells are becoming a lot better. So we've just simply re-sown to save time in the cells here, which means we'll get cabbages of different sizes, and we might have to do what we did with the Brussels sprouts and go and plant out the ones that need to get out and leave the others to catch up. But where that takes us a little bit longer to plant out, it saves us time by ditching these and doing the trays in their entirety. So composting the leftover seeds and compost that's left in the tray and starting again from scratch. So that's where we're at with that. This is coriander. Again, we've got some good looking seedlings and then some still just germinating. 2 trays of coriander, and then I believe this, I'm going to check rather than guess. That's a Savoy cabbage. This end one's a Savoy cabbage. So they're probably the worst of the germinating, hence they're over here, which is the sunniest, most consistent temperature-wise part of the greenhouse. And then I'll flip around to the other side, and this is a perfect example. So now temperatures in the greenhouse have started to steady out. You can see we've got much, much, much better germination on our lettuce. We're up to 90% germination all at the same time in that lettuce tray. By contrast, and I've done this on purpose, we've got this lettuce, which we only had a handful of plants germinate the first time round. So we've re-sown them in the same trays, added a little bit more compost, and we've got our second flush of germination. So what we'll have to do with these that are desperate to go out is just pop those few cells out, get them in the ground, and leave the others behind. But yes, germination seems to be a lot better on these ones that we've re-sown. It's very bright in here. These ones are the youngest ones, still not coming to get through. And then we've got some more consistency. So what have we got here? We've got Serbian kale here, scarlet kale at the back. We've got a very young sowing of red Russian kale. That was only done a couple of weeks ago. We've got purple sprouting broccoli, leeks that we've re-sown because we had really poor germination, parsley, which looks much, much better when it comes to the germination of the parsley. We've got black Tuscan kale here, or dino kale. Beetroot, which looks good. We've had good germination of the beetroot, multi-sown. Some sorrel, red vein sorrel, which is starting to look beautiful. Let me see if I can get a focused. There we go. That wasn't slickest camera, but you can start to see that the red vein sorrels just go out. Onions, patch of germination, again re-sown. More parsley at the back that looks beautiful. Starting to get those first frilly little leaves on the parsley. This is a brassica. What have we got here? Oh, more Cavallonero kale here. We've got cabbages. We've actually got decent germination on that one. It's hard to see because it's a red cabbage variety, but decent germination there. And the Savoy and kohlrabi hasn't germinated very, very well, so we're going to re-sow those, or we have already re-sown those. This one's a rocket. I can tell by the leaf, yeah, wild rocket variety. And then we've got some really young sowings of, well, it's got to be a beetroot, isn't it? Yeah, golden beetroot variety. Again, just starting to germinate. It looks bad, the germination, but we're still going. Very young. That was only sown the end about 2 weeks ago. Onions, this is the thing that we've struggled with the most with germination. So we've re-sown in the same cell trays all of those onions from seed. This is agretti, which we've got absolutely no germination from. This is a rogue radish seed. I don't know how that's ended up in there, but it has. Leeks again, just starting to come up and germinate. Again, we've re-sown these. There's even weeds in the compost. And then a better germination rate on the, again, red cabbage. And then if I spin you around, another example of kale that we've planted some out and let the others grow on to get bigger and stronger. But the second sowing of the same tray, this is another example, is about ready to go out now. So they'll be put out soon. We've got borage, which is about 70% germinating, but it's still going. We want to do some edible flowers here. We've started something nice and easy. Borage, we'll put those in pots so they don't self-seed everywhere. We've got kohlrabi. This is probably our best tray of kohlrabi. Sowing a little bit later. Let me see if I can get the shadow out. Kohlrabi. And then if we come round, we've got Brussels sprouts just starting to pop up. Some purple Brussels sprouts, I think. Is this the tray of purple Brussels sprouts? Oh no, that's more kohlrabi. Just starting to germinate nicely. And cabbage that is just starting to come up at the back. We've got lots more that haven't germinated or shown any signs of germination yet underneath. These are our latest sowings. This one has got germinated, and this little patch gets quite a bit of sunlight. So when there's room later today, that will come out, and that's beetroot, red beetroot variety. So yeah, that's everything that's sort of going on in the greenhouse at the moment. We've got tomatoes, chilies, aubergines, cucumbers and bits like that down the end here. Let me just spin that around and show you. These are our cucumbers. I won't show you the tomatoes yet because they're only just coming up. We're doing tomatoes. We're a bit late doing tomatoes, but our cucumbers are looking great. Out of this wind, it's absolutely gorgeous. It's really hot in this greenhouse. We've opened some windows already. We'll probably have the door open as the day goes on to get a bit of breeze in here. It's good for the plants to have a bit of breeze. Keeps the temperatures a bit more consistent and aerates the soil a little bit to prevent mold and disease and stuff like that, because it can get quite damp feeling in here if you don't get a bit of air into the greenhouse. You see that? Just a bead of sweat coming down. That's how warm it is. So yeah, that's given you a bit of a whiz round of where we're at the moment. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will keep doing these raw videos that keep you up to date on how things are going on and what we're up to across all of our sites. But this was, like I said, one of our consultancy sites. So if you like the video, give me a thumbs up, like, subscribe, do all that stuff that helps my channel grow. It really, really helps me. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.